called Kearney, one of the two, I don't know. Anyway, there's lots of national historic theaters that are preserved. I read a little about the history, and it's really cool to see that a lot of people settled here while on the Oregon Trail. That's how we pronounced it as a kid, but Oregon Trail. And yeah, these theaters, they're in the National Registry of Historic Places, but one of them, I'll show you at the end if I remember, one of them was turned into a dentist's office, so. But it still looks epic. Strange little place to stop between Michigan and Colorado. But nice, it's really cute. The hotels are really nice, really highly rated. Oh, because I think this town is known for, it's the sandhill crane capital of the world or the U.S. Anyway, between February and April, it's 600,000 sandhill cranes on the Platte River nearby, which is the one you ford, I think, or you travel along it on Oregon Trail. So wow, cool. Okay, I hope this doesn't fall over. It's resting on a knot, a knotty pine, a knotty tree. It's not a pine. Alright. I don't have makeup on. I think I look a little road weary. Driving 14 hours yesterday. The next 2 days of driving are easier. I did that on purpose so I could meander and relax once I was west, because everything I flew through yesterday, or a lot of it, I've already seen before. I'm trying to learn to do that, gosh darn it. Okay, I want to see what this area was making me feel. I was feeling something, which is why I turned it on, but then I started rambling again. Gosh darn it. Okay. They don't need me here, and I wonder why I came this way, why I didn't come before now. Yours and yours, it hasn't been mine in a while. be a paper robot? Would I be a funnel for clouds? Would I be a frozen robot in the sky in the clouds? That's not my name, it's not my name. In the sky in the clouds, you took my name. In the sky in the clouds, I sold it to you for a tiny piece of the pie. Didn't come true, a tiny piece of the pie. It wasn't pie at all, it wasn't pie at all. You couldn't even eat that if you wanted to. It wasn't pie at all, it wasn't even pie. It was just some great big last remains of the sky. Maybe I've seen too many dystopian movies. I don't know. Yesterday while I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, I found myself, it was after I made that ramble on the state capitol. Oh, I'll walk you to the dentist's office at the theater. While I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, I ended up having a lot of thoughts about what fame is in the modern era. And it's having a following. So like the people, I mean, not me, I have like 900 followers on Instagram, which is a lot for me, but they've just kind of come over time from using hashtags and knowing people. But like, say you had 1 million followers on Instagram, like that's the new fame. But there's not money in that necessarily. Unless you want to like market to the people that you're trying to also authentically help. Oh, here we go. This isn't the charming part. I was going to say funny, but it's charming. I mean, they're trying not to tear it down because it's in the historic National Register of Historic Places. So how charming that they're like, well, theater is not really an industry anymore. And I guess that's what I'm talking about. I know some people who seem like they're from another era, they're from another time. Maybe their souls wished to feel important and needed, and then they came into the world with this great, talent at acting, and then they're just not really needed. Unless you're one of the rare few that pushes all the way to the top and then preserves it like I'm doing right now, except actual film, Independent films don't pay. Sorry, I just think this is so cute, but I'm also on a point for dentistry. Oh, did you see New Patients Welcome up on the marquee? Anyway, there is still another theater down here that is still a theater. It's really quaint downtown. Thanks, birds. I really liked that song. I don't know if I liked how loud it was during the song, but that's okay. That's my Kearney, Nebraska experience. I was going to write a song in the hotel room last night, or outside the hotel this morning, and I was like, well, that's dumb. Like, I know I want to hit the road, but it's 5 minutes to the downtown. I should just, drive over there so I know what it feels like. I think I'm going to go over to the kayak launch now, too. Probably not going to put my kayak in. It's kind of meh outside, but... and then hit the road to Colorado. Well, a little bit Wyoming. Just to see Cheyenne, even just to drive by. I like to drive by things, even if they're a little out of the way, because my imagination is so strong that I can accidentally pull myself in a completely wrong for me direction just by thinking about something based on non-reality. These butterflies are cute. So say I had developed a dream of moving, say this place had a good theater or music program and needed an accompanist, and if I had never been here before, I might think that it might be my dream come true somehow. And if I've been there, oh, there's a zoozeum. It's really cute. I think I'll cross the street. So, oh, here's a music shop. So like clearly they love the arts. It's a huge music shop. We'll walk past the zoozeum. But like it's really noisy here. It's a very small town. The way the brochures make it look makes it seem like the theater is still alive and well. But then, you know, you get the vibe, it's like, oh, well, it's mostly volunteer run, so like what jobs would there be? Like, what I learned in Lincoln, Nebraska is don't move somewhere where you immediately inherit all the problems of the people who love it because maybe they were born there and they're like, they have reason to be there because maybe they were born there, maybe they have family there, they'll struggle hard to make it work, and it will make sense that they would do so. But for you to move there when you can throw a dart at any place on a map, you know, it doesn't make sense to move to a place that is struggling. And I think that's a parallel to something that, I mean, unless maybe the reason calling you there is strong enough. But I basically this is why I'm saying this. I've always wondered how people know what to choose. And it's why I've always followed other people. I follow other people socially. It caused me a lot of problems in middle school and high school. I followed boyfriends, past. I followed college. Like I was even in a sorority just because they offered to buy us alcohol. It's like I was not a sorority type at all. Clearly, I don't know if clearly feels true to you, but it just no offense to people who are sorority types. It's just like it's just another example of me not knowing myself. It's just and of following. And so I think I've never known what barometers people use to choose things. I think I was never even that drawn to New York City before I ended up moving there. I liked it, but I think I liked London better, which I had lived in for 4 months. I also really liked Appleton, Wisconsin, but I couldn't imagine what jobs I would have there with. By that point I had written a musical and I was 22 years old. I had written and performed in and cast and directed a whole musical. And so when you just finished doing that and then 2 months go by and now it's graduation, like where do you go? Like school and college kind of made me feel very useful as a creative person. And then post-school and post-college, I mean, what else could I do except inherit $200,000 of debt and go to New York City and get an MFA in musical theater writing? Because of all my options, it's the only one that seemed like it even slightly honored who I was. Zoozeum. Like, I didn't mean to be a meandering weirdo. I didn't even mean to, like, try to perform on stages like that. Like, see how there's, like, people on the live at the Zoozeum? I used to feel really competitive. Once I started playing shows, I felt really competitive with people who knew how to play shows, and I didn't even know how to go play shows. So I was living in Chicago, and I just started playing open mics, and I remember feeling like I had started my life over, and not in a good way. I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I've been on the wrong ladder. Why have I been doing musical theater when I always wanted to be a singer-songwriter? But then I obviously couldn't really figure that path out either. I hustled. I did a lot of gigs in Chicago, and I found a lot of really cool people there. One who produced an album for me, Ethan Stoller. Oh, another who produced an album for me, Garrett Lane, well, he didn't do all the songs, but he did a lot of it. And I met them through open mics, or I met them through shows that I play there. Oh, here's the theater that is open. And so I guess Chicago made more sense than where I've ended up. And being away from things that use my skills is probably why I've gotten so weird. Because if you have an MFA in musical theater writing, a Bachelor of Arts in piano performance, and in dramatic literature, and a minor in English, I have all these like random degrees. I music directed 30 musicals in New York City, Chicago, and some small places in the Midwest. Like, I felt important. Or, you know what? It's not even just an arrogance thing. I felt needed. I felt useful. And now I don't feel useful. Like, I'm gonna cry. I'm in Kearney, Nebraska, wondering if I should move here, because that's how I feel everywhere I go. Because I don't know where I'll feel needed. I don't know if I'll ever get to feel that feeling again that I had when I was in school, where my skills and my talents mattered. Because in my grad program, I wrote another musical there, and then 3 months after that, I wrote another musical, and then I fell into writing the music for Were the World Mine. If you haven't seen that, it was on Netflix top 100 movies for like 2 years. It's like a indie movie musical, and I wrote like 11 songs for that. Got to meet and work with like so many like famous people, but it wasn't even a big deal. It just felt like a logical succession. And then, I don't know. I mean, I guess I chose to change over to more singer-songwriter world because that's who I was when I was a kid. But the path wasn't laid out for me. That path wasn't something that was like schools. Lincoln Highway. So, okay, I'm not complaining. I'm literally just describing what it's like to be someone, like that saying, not all who wander are lost. It's like, no, I am lost. I'm lost. It's a cute mural. Like, I've been feeling guided to leave Michigan since I got divorced. And I wasn't guided to like suddenly leave, and therefore I wouldn't have met Brian. I just feel like I was guided to start dreaming about it and start figuring it out. And I could never figure out how to even dream about it. I remember I just watched random travel movies in, when was that? That was early 2016. It's really cute. And I settled on the Pacific Northwest. There's a kitty. Oh cool, black cat crossing my path. Great. No more bad luck. I mean, during all of those times, there was all kinds of hard stuff going on. Hi, buddy. I'm not mad at you. It's not your fault. Ah, he lives in the sewer. Okay, that was really weird. Anyway. So, I'm just feeling a lot because I'm trying to be honest. I'm not trying to be honest. I just am being honest. That, like, I have loved Michigan. I love many of the people have been very kind to me. And it's beautiful. But it's like, if you know you're supposed to go, then it starts to feel like... And you might ask, like, why do you know? Well, why does anyone know anything? I don't know. It just felt like guidance a long time ago that I've either ignored or I stayed for very specific reasons, which I've rambled about before. And so I'm just saying, if you're someone who's lost, sorry for the long rambles all about me. It's kind of what I do. And it's like, I don't know how to be useful to others. I don't know how to take what is about me and convert it to others except in a song. Even in a song, I don't know how to do it. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can be in the middle of your life. I mean, I'm not in control of when I die, but it feels like I'm in the middle of my life and be as lost as ever. And maybe, I guess what I'm saying is because if you're really listening, like if you're really listening to your intuition, your gut, your heart, you know, and for you it might not be moving. For me, I think it has had to be moving because there's so few places in the world that would use my skills. And maybe my skills are just for online now. But it's hard to shift gears with that too, because I've made up all these weird systems to kind of pass the time while in Michigan. And to pass the time during this presidency. And that was for love, so I really shouldn't talk about it. The first one, not the presidency. You know, staying for somebody. Worth it. Worth every ounce of it. But now I feel like it's time for me to, and we've talked about it, it's time for me to kind of figure out what the next step is, and I don't know how to do that. So, I could go back and read a bunch of self-help books again, like how other people do, and like, or how I did when I was really young, and figure out the next step. But I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like getting my resume and my curriculum vitae ready. That's the one you do to like apply for jobs at colleges, and then just be ready for something to show up. I saw that in like a law of attraction video once. Be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And I saw another thing that said like, don't ask for more than you're ready for. which it's pretty cool. I'm driving across the country right now by myself. Like, that was something I probably wasn't ready for any sooner than this. Like, I feel very strong again, and I didn't feel strong for a long time. So don't ask for more than you're ready for. That's part 1, and part 2 is, and be happy with what you're ready for. So I should just be happy that this is where I am, and I don't have the answers, and that's okay. I'm just on an adventure, and I'm writing songs, and the answers will come when they come, and I'm plugging in my charger, and aging is really weird. I should probably wear makeup so I wouldn't be so aware of it. All right, that's all. Bye!